Once upon this very land, in a time long, long ago, cold-blooded animals with long backbones were always on the prowl and everywhere on the roam. Some ate plants, others ate meat. Some had terrible claws and even terrible teeth. You could find them in the forests, stomping through the trees, swimming in the rivers, or even in the seas. Dreaming in a world of plenty for countless millions of years, surviving countless dangers, they learned to live along their fears. But nothing lasts forever, as they would one day learn. Big changes came about, and life would take a turn. Today, the little ones still live as birds. The big ones did not survive the turmoil. We dig them up out of the earth, study their bones, and even burn their oil. Do you know the name of these ancient, terrible lizards? That's right, they were the dinosaurs. This particular dinosaur is a famous speedster whose bones we found in northern China. Meet Velociraptor. Its name has the word velocity in it. Velocity means speed. We think it was very fast because it had legs that would allow it to run and catch its prey or run away from predators. Velociraptors were meat eaters, but they had a small body. So if they hunted larger creatures, they would have to hunt their prey in packs, like wolves or lions do. We also think velociraptors were smart dinosaurs because of their relatively large brain. Besides, we didn't know this before, but we recently found out that they had feathers and they built nests like birds. Large, meat-eating birds with sharp teeth and giant claws. If animals like Velociraptor were alive today, our first impression would be that they were just very unusual-looking birds. Let's make our own Velociraptor. Prepare your materials. Take some clay for the skin. Pick a color. Knead it, roll it, and play with it until it is soft. Once it's warm and malleable, roll a piece into a cylinder and use a rolling pin to flatten it. We will use this clay to cover the entire aluminum foil structure. Make small patches of the flat clay and start by placing them on the body, one patch at a time. To cover the limbs, use narrow rectangles and wrap them around the arms and legs. Take some time to shape the arms and legs as shown. Once the structure is fully covered, rub the surface with your thumbs to smooth it out thoroughly. Make the shoulders by rolling 2 small spheres. Roll the spheres on one side to make cones and flatten them slightly. Place them on the shoulder and rub the creases with your fingers to fade the edge into the skin. Shape the shoulder and arms as shown to enhance the joints, the elbows, and the wrists. To make the hips, repeat the same procedure as with the shoulders. Make slightly larger spheres, turn them into cones, and flatten them a little while keeping a rounded side, which becomes the hip bone. Attach the hips and fade the edges by rubbing the creases with your finger. Give shape to the upper leg as shown. Now we will make the marks on the skin. Pick a color. We used orange clay mixed with a little bit of red. To mix, roll a long worm of each color. Place them side by side and swirl them together. Roll them back into a ball and back into a worm a few times until the colors are mixed. Next, roll a very small sphere with this new color and then a few more spheres, each one a little bit larger than the one before. Turn the smallest sphere into a worm and place it on the tip of the tail. Continue making worms and placing them flat on the top side of the tail in order of increasing size all the way up the tail. trying to keep all the stripes of equal width and equally spaced between. When you reach the base of the tail, where the back starts, continue making the stripes of the same size up the back until you reach the neck. Then, make smaller marks all the way up the neck until you reach the top of the head and stop there. Repeat the process for the legs, making larger marks for the top of the legs and a little bit shorter for the bottom part. Make 3 small stripes for each forearm and 3 small stripes for the upper part of each arm. Roll 2 small spheres of skin color and roll them into worms. Place them on the top of the snout to make the ridges of the snout. To make the nostrils, roll very small spheres with black clay. Make them pointy, flatten them, and place them on the front of the face as shown, with the tip pointing down. Make tiny worms to place around the nostrils to give them depth and texture. Place the eyeballs just below the top of the head and roll 2 small pointy worms of skin color clay. Place them over the top of the eyes to make the eyebrows. Then add a smaller sliver of the color used for the markings to highlight the eyebrows. Take some time to arrange the shape of the eyebrows until you achieve the desired facial expression. Make the lower jaw and mouth separately and then attach it to the bottom of the snout. To make the lower jaw, place a black flat oval of clay over another thicker oval of the skin color clay. Place a long flat sliver of red clay over the middle of the black oval to make the tongue, like a long teardrop over the black oval. Once you have the lower jaw, attach it underneath the snout at the back where the neck meets the head. Give shape to the throat, the jaw, and the bottom lip, and fade the edges to blend together. Make the cheeks by rolling 2 small pointy worms and placing them on the corners of the mouth, curving them around as shown. Roll a long thin strand and place it along the edges of the bottom of the mouth to make the lower lip. To make the fingers and the claws, roll 6 small cylinders and place 2 fingers in front and 1 thumb on the inside of each hand. Make small cones of white clay for the claws on the tip of the fingers. Repeat the same procedure to make 3 fingers for the front of each foot and make the claws for the feet as well. Behold our voracious Velociraptor ready to be fossilized in a conventional oven.